You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network. Now the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Twisted After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Twisted After Show.
Yes, it is.
Hello, everybody. Bing is for doing, and we're here doing another after show for ABC Family's Twisted, Season 1, Episode 7. We need to talk about Danny. We've got a lot about Danny to talk about, including his abs.
Yes.
I know that's Steven's favorite part of the episode, right?
Is it really?
Yeah.
Are you projecting a little bit,
Yeah.
Jason?
He
just,
paused.
Just a tiny bit?
He paused it.
He paused
while we were watching.
I paused on the grave.
Yeah, that's really messed
On
up.
the most dramatic
Anyways,
spot
I'm
ever.
Jason Ikeler, and joining me as always,
I'm Heather Joy Smith.
I'm Lina Green.
And I'm the one everyone loves to hate, Stephen Lemieux.
Oh,
you said it.
love you, Steven.
Let's talk about this soccer whole thing with Danny going on at first. So he's at soccer practice, and we find out that what was the guy's name?
I wrote it down. It's Farrell. It sounded like he was saying Farrell.
Cole? Is it Cole?
Cole
Yeah,
Farrell.
Cole Farrell took over his.
Yeah, they made Cole Farrell
His
from the
spot
game. He's
on
gonna
the
be
team.
he's gonna be starting forward, and Danny's gonna be moved to defense. But it didn't seem like they really cared about it that much. He was like,
No,
Well,
he
because they're
made
friends,
jokes.
so
Yeah.
they just kind of joked around about it.
And if you listen to our other podcast, Cole Farrell is Tom Cruise.
According to
Yes,
He
like
looks nothing like Tom
I
Cruise.
refer to him as Tom
He
Cruise.
doesn't look like Tom Cruise, though.
He did the first time we saw him.
Well,
Not really today.
Well, that changed.
He didn't look like Tom Cruise today.
So anyway, we find out that Cole gets food poisoning, and it's actually mothballs. But basically, it's framed to look like Danny set him up.
Yeah, because Danny worked out with him in the morning. That was the only, and he was fine during the workout. And then after the workout was when he went to the hospital. You don't go to the hospital for food.
And it kind of
poisoning.
sucks for Danny because anybody that gets any sort of disease or dies in this town, he's getting blamed for.
My grandfather had a heart attack at the ripe age of 105.
Danny did it.
Danny Desai.
It seems so staged, though. It's like we found the mothballs in the trash can. Like, who? Like, Danny would be smarter than that.
Well,
If they
yeah.
think
Totally
he's a
would.
sociopath.
But obviously,
If
if
you
it
could-
was Archie setting him up, Archie would definitely leave them out there for somebody to see these. And,
Well, and we
set
all
him
think
up
Archie's
for
a
this.
dumbass, right?
Oh, completely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
but
totally is.
Danny even says that to the coach in their private talk. He's like, "Would you really think that I would leave it out there?"
Yeah, and I thought the coach
Yeah.
was going to believe him. And
I
Well,
did
it kind of
too.
seemed like that was
Does.
happening.
The coach does believe him.
not really, but because he
No.
still kicks him out the
He
team.
believes him, but he doesn't want to defend him because that makes him also look like he's defending this
Well,
guy that's guilty of murder and this kid that
What
killed his aunt.
what happens is, so we have the coach. What would happen if the coach came clean with this? If he said, "Hey guys, we had a student that was poisoned by mothballs and ended up in the hospital." Okay, who could have done it? Danny was the last person to be with him. Okay, great.
Yep.
The mothballs are in the garbage can. It's like there's no way that he could make it not look like Danny. It's the same thing with the auditorium.
I kind of hate how they set it up, though. This like, Danny, well, we're replacing you with Cole, and then it's like, oh, now he has food poisoning. It's like everybody just set him up for this.
Yeah.
Totally.
But I think that's what's going to continue to happen at least until somebody else is framed for Regina's death.
Exactly.
I'm really, I really hope they get that out there. Just this person killed her. Sarita killed her. Let's just say Sarita. Let's
So
just put it out there.
you're agreeing with that Facebook comment somebody made.
Yeah,
Yeah,
somebody, if
she-
you guys like the ABC Family Twisted page on Facebook, they post like people's theories, and somebody tweeted that they think Sarita killed Regina.
Yeah.
And I actually think that's true.
Yeah, because she's always like, let's not talk about it, or
Yeah, every time she brings it up, Lacey brings it up, Sarita gets pissed.
Tonight it made it seem like she really did.
And it makes sense because Sarita's the quiet one who always is observing everything. Even when Joe was in the bedroom, she had her eye on that box of all the things because anything could have been there to lead it to Sarita. Also, Sarita was there, I believe, when Danny first saw the necklace and asked where you got that necklace. it would make sense that if she killed her, she would take the necklace and throw it in his locker.
But do you
and
guys
she would
think
have access to his
ABC
locker.
Family's just messing with us? Because was it last week that we all thought it was the mayor who did it?
Exactly.
We didn't think it was
I think
a
every
mayor.
week we
every
decide
week we've all
somebody
like,
else.
oh my God, wait.
When did we say it was Mayor?
You were out
Oh,
sick.
you were out last week.
Somebody's having surgery.
Welcome
Rude.
back,
This
by
is
the
a-
way.
Okay, anyway, I thought that Sarita was gonna kill Lacey. Like that moment when they were
Oh.
at the ground. I really
Oh,
thought
she was
gonna,
like giving her the evil eye,
Yeah,
like, oh
'cause
no,
you
you
know-
didn't. Just
she-
go off with
She
them.
just stabs her.
she came from nowhere and she was just looking at her like with evil eyes, like
This is creepy.
you gotta choose.
Yeah, she's scary.
Hold on, but that is the one look that Sarita gives every single episode
Yeah.
for every emotion, and Stephen
Steven
can
said
do the
that.
perfect description.
Do Sarita's look.
Oh,
It is. It's just like a still.
I'm super happy right now.
Well, Heather even said Sarita's ugly, but I don't think she's ugly. I think
I
she's
didn't mean
just.
like she's ugly. Like
Her
her
personality.
personality makes her so ugly that you really just don't even want to look at her because
Yeah.
she's such a mean.
It's called
person.
good acting.
She's a mean girl.
It really is.
So anyway-
I hope she's not like this in real life because I would not want to be her friend.
We'll have her on and see.
Hopefully,
There we
yeah.
go.
Good, yeah.
We would
So
like to have
anyway,
her on.
Danny gets called into the coach's office, and he kind of says, like, you know what? I don't think you did this, but you are found guilty. So he's gonna cover for him, and gonna make it look like Danny chose to leave the team, but the coach is worried about his job.
Yeah, that was such a slap in his face when he said that. Like, we're gonna just back out quietly.
You know what? To me, though, okay, so if the coach was worried about his job, wouldn't you be more worried about finding out who actually did this? Because maybe they're going to poison somebody else, and then it's going to be on the coach once again.
Understandably, but look at the coach's position.
Yeah.
They're not going to find out who did this. Like, at all. He already has the bag of mothballs. There probably weren't any prints on it or whatever. They're not going to find out who did it. So
True.
it's going to obviously point to Danny, and then it falls on the coach for letting him on the team in the first
Yeah.
place,
Yep.
and that's
Yeah.
why the coach is going to be fired. So he's covering his ass, but at the same time, you can't fault him because it's really just, it's an unfortunate situation.
But he's kind of, even though he's doing this horrible thing, he's kind of being nice about it too, because technically he should go to the principal and say, hey, somebody tried to food poison
Yeah.
this kid, but he knows Danny's going to get blamed even though he doesn't think he did it.
Exactly.
It's
The
a
coach,
catch-22.
the coach has been on Danny's team, if you remember. I mean,
Yeah.
I've actually liked the
technically he's
coach.
on the team, but
That's
but I
Good
didn't.
one.
It was an unintentional pun. But the coach was on Danny's team. Like, he let him on the team after the tryout because he did well. It's like, okay, well, he can value talent over whatever people think, and he even gave him the starting position. And even this, it wasn't a diss to Danny to take him and put him on defense. It was, hey, these guys are working out well
Yeah.
together. Let's put them back
Right.
where they were before. I mean, it's a decision by a coach. He was not being biased at all.
I have a feeling that now that Lacey's broken up with Archie, maybe she'll go to the coach and be like, hey, I
don't-
think Archie did this.
I don't think Archie did it. Did you see his Did you see his face when Danny told him? He was like, "You're quitting the team," and it seemed like he was surprised
Yeah.
like what happened. There
Well,
could
maybe
be
he
someone
wasn't
else.
Who do
expecting
you
him to
think would have
quit.
done it though?
It could be someone. I honestly, for some reason, I feel like there's something more to Archie than this.
Do you think
a-hole.
it could have been Sarita?
I don't think so, because
Mm-hmm.
I think if I was Lacey, I would automatically assume Archie framed him. And I don't think Sarita wants to bring Lacey and Danny together anymore.
It's too obvious. Nothing's obvious in this show, and I'm telling you, it probably wasn't Archie. There's nothing obvious, and that was too obvious for us to just say it's Archie. I'm thinking of somebody else.
Maybe it's one of his friends.
Maybe
I don't
that
know.
tall guy. What's the tall guy's
I don't know
name?
his
Tyler?
name.
Tyler.
Are you talking about the
No,
new?
no.
His best friend.
Yeah.
Maybe. I
Oh.
mean, we have a whole soccer
there's
team.
so many
that guy-
characters.
well, actually, we got to talk about Tyler.
We do need
Hotness.
Oh yeah, we're gonna
Woo.
talk about that. Before we get into this whole love triangle thing, though, I want to remind everybody to go to SerialBuddies.com, and there are links to download Serial Buddies on iTunes and Amazon. And all of the money from Serial Buddies goes back into AfterBuzz, so we can continue to give you these podcasts for free, and it's worth your $4 or $5. It's got Maria Menounos, Beth Bears, Two Broke Girls, Artie Lang.
It's an absolutely fantastic movie.
Oh God, here we
I
go.
always have to do an accent
again.
every time.
No,
It's really funny though.
Yeah, it is a great movie. It's put together by executive producer Maria Menounos and Kevin Undergaro. It's not even, you hear serial killer comedy and you're like, that's a little dark. It's not dark at all. It's really just a happy-go-lucky film of people
About
traveling-
murder.
Yeah, a happy-go-lucky film about murder. I mean,
Yeah.
if you want for the price of a Happy Meal, you can get a happy-go-lucky murder film.
And you can continue to get free podcasts because that's how we keep the lights on in here by things like that. So check that out.
It'd be funny if the lights went off
I
right
know.
now. And y'all are not
And
downloading.
I need to buy it.
Please.
Buy it now. It's like one of those CBS or PBS things.
But if you want to take it a step further, there is one more thing you can do while you're looking for Zero Buddies. You can go to iTunes and you can search Twisted AfterBuzz, and you can go to our podcast and give us 5 stars. Leave us a comment. Please leave us a comment. I like reading the comments. When
Yeah, and we love all the YouTube comments and all the tweets, and we write back.
Yeah, we do tweet back. We like to retweet people. We like to, let's give a shout out
Shout
right
out
now.
to Daisy fans.
Daisy fans.
Yeah, JC
We
fans,
love
that's what's
you.
up.
Tweeting
Yes.
us all day today. And you can tweet me at Stephen Lemieux
At just Lina Green.
At Jason Ikeler.
At Heather Joy Smith.
and continue to comment on our YouTube page. We're getting a little bit of
We're getting
Back
some
and forth.
action
arguments
today.
and debating going on
We
on our
love
YouTube
it.
page. Yeah, it's great. So be sure to keep that up. And
So let's talk about the love triangle,
Yes.
something that's also very debated over because I actually want Danny and Jo to be together.
No.
I just
And
love
I know most of the
emotional
Twisted
polygons.
fandom is against this.
Yeah, there's a
But I
whole-
think so. Jo has this sex dream where Danny wakes her up in his bedroom, and they're like, "We didn't find a freaking thing in Connecticut." And then she's like, "Can you not get so sweaty all over my bed?" So he rips his shirt off.
He didn't rip it. He dated
It was
took
very
off.
sexual.
Very slow motion took off his shirt. Like
he whips his hair back and forth,
I whipped my hair.
and then they just start to make out,
It was a
hardcore.
little steamy.
It was very stupid.
Yeah.
Way he got close and then he was
Hashtag Joe's wet dream. That's what we're gonna call it, right?
Yeah. Oh my
So
god.
she wakes up,
like, PG.
huge disappointed. If they have sex on the show, we can call it what it is.
They didn't have sex. They just made out.
They were about to.
So we've had
If she didn't wake up.
In a dream.
Yeah.
in her dreams.
Just
Literally.
just saying. So anyway, Rico and Jo talk about her crush on Danny after this, and Rico kind of gets pissed still, and he's like, "Listen, he killed his aunt, and he's a murder suspect. Like this guy does not have a lot of things going for him. What's the point?"
I don't know. Rico's a hater.
Well,
I'm sorry, Rico.
He
We
is
love
a
you.
hater,
But
though.
come
But
on.
He wants to be with Jo
Jo's doing
so
to Rico
bad.
exactly what Danny's doing to Jo. So you would
Yes.
think Jo would be a little more nice about it or handle it better.
She's oblivious.
She's so one-minded
Yeah.
to Danny.
And Rico talks about how it's only the mystery that she's attracted to him. It's not him. It's not anything. It's just
And
the
it's
mystery
looks.
of why he did what he did.
Which is interesting. I can totally see that.
Well, yeah.
No, look
But I
at
think
him in his
I think
good
it's
looks.
more than
Are you
that too,
joking?
though. Because
You're
I
not
think
joking?
I think this is the first guy because she hasn't really had any other friends and she sees Rico as a brother. So I also think this is like the first guy in high school to give her any attention.
Well, now Tyler.
So she just kind of jumps on that.
I think Tyler's way cuter.
No,
I
he's
think
not
she's
cute.
gonna go for Tyler eventually.
Just make. I think she's gonna do it to make Danny jealous. Cause
oh.
you see how Danny's like, oh, who's this guy? Who is he?
I don't think after seeing the previews she's going to go for Tyler.
Not like right away. Give her a few weeks to warm up to it.
Hopefully he sticks around.
I know.
Yeah.
Really.
So Danny and Jo go to their secret spot, or Lacey and Jo, and they decide that they're gonna ask Danny about why he killed his aunt.
Well, Joe tells Lacey that she needs to ask him because, like,
Joe's already
she's
tried.
already asked. He's not
Yeah.
going to do it, and for some reason, he might tell Lacey. We know why.
Do you think
but
Jo
Does
knows,
she-
kind
yeah.
of?
I don't think so. I don't think she would be so like.
I think she does know because she was a little bit upset towards Lacey in the beginning. And
Well,
I
even
think she
last
could
week when
feel
they were in the
something.
car, she was like a little bit pissed about that too.
I
Yeah.
know, but at the same time, it's like I can't tell. Last week I couldn't really tell what she was pissed about, and she doesn't have any way of actually knowing what they did. She might have a feeling, but that wouldn't be enough to get her pissed off.
Well, when they came into the diner together,
Well, yeah.
after being going for so long,
That
like,
would
weren't
be
they
the
going for-
only reason why I would think that she would maybe know.
but
because
But
of
don't you
that
think
scene.
if you like are hanging out with two people and you know they've like hooked up, you can feel
That's what
it.
I'm saying.
Yeah,
you can feel the
sense it, I
sexual
guess.
tension.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
definitely.
saying.
I mean, I don't think she knows. I think she's pissed for other. She was pissed for other reasons, and I think she's just kind of just. I mean, I just don't think she knows.
I think she
Okay.
does.
So anyway, Lacey goes to tell Danny, and she's like, "I want to know about your aunt," and he again blows it off. But then
He blows
he tries to talk about the kiss and bring it back to that. So it's like this whole weird like, I want to know about murder. Well, I want to know about why you're in love with me. It's
I
weird
only
back
think
and
about
forth.
the kiss, Lacey.
It's so sweet.
It is.
And she just walks off.
You said you don't want him to be with Jo?
No.
Does anyone?
No,
I
feel like you kind of do.
I kind of do, but I kind of like the whole Lacey and Danny
yeah.
thing going right now.
Maybe
like
they can just
forbidden.
turn into polygamous.
Yes, exactly. Oh, no, God.
I'll date
trying
each
to
other.
what?
They'll just turn into polygamous.
I don't think the two girls would go for that. Danny might though.
Yeah. Why not?
I don't know.
So Rico again tells Jo not to obsess over him, and there's this whole back and forth between Rico and Jo, kind of throughout the episode.
Stop obsessing by obsessing.
I don't
Yeah.
get why.
But it's kind of true,
why won't Rico just tell her that he has feelings for her?
because I think he knows right now he has no shot.
I mean, his
You know what I
loss.
mean? It's kind of just ruined their friendship at this point. He knows that she's so in love with Danny.
Maybe Rico will find out about Danny and Lacey and then be like, hey, so these guys are together, so you want to just, like, you know, get together?
Oh.
I don't think that approach is gonna work.
I don't think
He's
that would
gonna,
work, but
he's
I
gonna
could
have
see
to do
him
a little,
being,
like, scheming.
yeah, I could see him like going and being like, oh, well, they're together and they made out, and like totally being like,
He's a tattletale. You know,
yeah.
like, Rico's
That's
becoming
true.
a tattletale.
He is the snitch of the town, if
Yes.
you know
He
that.
really is. Like, who would snitch? Like, would you do that? Would you?
Maybe if he's trying to get in her pants, though.
No, when he snitched
Heyo.
on Karen, would you have done that?
no.
I think he did it genuinely to protect Jo, because I don't think he trusts Danny.
I mean, I don't know. Snitch.
Okay.
Snitch.
Rico's gonna get stitched.
I'm the only one on Team Rico at all times.
I'm on Team Rico. I'm
Okay.
just saying.
We
Snitch.
like Rico, but
So then we've also at the same time got Danny confessing his love to Jo's mom, but his love for Lacey, not for Jo.
Jo's my best friend.
And that puts her
Friend zone.
First of all, that's such a weird thing. I always hated it when people would talk to other people's moms about their drama. Like, keep that between your
Who
friends.
does that? Like, who talks to people?
people do that.
Yeah, everybody
People
had
do
that. Everybody has that friend.
That would go to their mom.
Yeah.
And like, I love how he's like, no, not Jo. Not Jo. I'm not talking about Jo
I
at
know.
all.
Don't worry. I don't. Joe.
Look at how she dressed.
What is that?
Like, way to make it awkward for Tess when she finds out about
I
Joe. It's
know.
like, I think I love Danny.
Ooh.
Oh, she's
Well,
like,
when he's
girl,
talked
there's
about
not
you-
a chance in hell.
I gotta say though, Tess handled that situation so well, and what she said to Jo was great. It wasn't, you know, good or bad or anything. It was just completely neutral, and that was probably the safest way to go.
If it was your daughter, would you have been like, well, he's kind of expressed interest in someone else? So
I don't know how you handle
let it
that.
go. I would have.
And that's
I
so
love
awkward. You
that.
want to tell them though.
Okay,
Maybe
so
go
let's
for
go
somebody
through it.
that's not a murderer.
How would you handle that situation?
I probably would have said, you know, that he came to me and said that he was in love with somebody else. I mean,
You're gonna be a cold
Way to go,
mom.
mom.
Okay, Jason, how would you
I
handle it?
would have just told her to go for it. You live and you learn.
She's
You know what
gonna
I
get
mean?
her heart broken. Your kid's
she is, and then she's gonna come back crying to you, wondering why she got her heart broken.
But then you're just gonna say that's part of growing up.
Yeah.
Okay, Lace. I mean,
I guess we're both bitches.
Oh my
We
God.
are. We're
Steven
terrible
called me
people.
Lacey. I'm living my dream.
Lena, what would you do?
I would have done the same thing. I would just told her like he expressed interest in another girl.
Okay, a good parent would have gone and talked to Danny again and then sabotaged.
A good parent would have paid him off. Like, I will pay you to date my daughter.
That is awesome.
I love how Steven set us up. He was like,
He totally
okay,
set
let me
us
tell you
up.
what's right.
He was planning that joke the whole
He
time we were
was.
talking.
I don't know. I still think all of ours were correct too.
I know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There's no wrong
There's
answer.
no wrong answer. Yeah.
So Danny and Jo and Lacey all get invited to Tyler. Have we seen him before today?
So,
I don't
we've
remember.
probably seen him,
Just,
but
like,
we haven't
briefly.
he hasn't had lines.
He hasn't
or
been like
anything.
introduced to us.
Whose brother is that?
He is Phoebe's brother.
Phoebe's brother.
Yeah.
Phoebe.
And he's having his birthday party at this cemetery.
Cemetery Potter.
Cemetery
Is that
party.
Forever Cemetery?
So
Yeah.
Jo sneaks out, which we've kind of seen Jo like rebel more and more each episode. She lies to her parents to go out of the state. She got wasted in the first episode, and now she's drinking at a cemetery, sneaking out when she's
Well,
supposed
okay,
to be
I
at
thought
her.
she was sneaking out, but didn't she get home before curfew?
yeah, but she was
Yeah,
only
but she's
supposed
she was supposed to be at because she's grounded.
Oh, that's right.
Peace
Yeah,
out.
Well, this guy
that's
doesn't.
right.
This guy doesn't.
He's that. That's right.
The peace out.
Pizza.
This Tyler guy doesn't really get a good first impression of Danny or Jo, because he walks up right after Danny figured out he had to leave the soccer team, and he invites Jo and Danny, and his first thing that he says to Danny is, "Hey, what's up, socio?"
I thought they all dropped that word.
Great
I did
first
too.
impression.
Making a comeback.
Wait,
Yeah.
wasn't it psycho? No, it was.
He said
Socio.
socio, yeah. So he'll only invite Danny if Jo goes.
Which there's gonna be something happen between them.
Danny's just a little
Jo
Danny
and-
Downer at this party.
I know he
He
is.
is.
Jo,
He's
He's
so
by
emotional.
Did you say Jo and Tyler? Something's gonna happen between Jo. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
For
hoping
sure.
that happens so she
I
can
think
get
so.
over Danny.
Exactly.
I don't like seeing her follow him around and pine
She's
after
like a lost
him.
little puppy.
It's sad.
So going
So
to the
yeah,
party,
at the party.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
So at the party, we all have that friend that does what Danny does, and like feels like he doesn't know anyone, won't converse with anyone, so they just sit in a corner like
It's like this.
drinking the beer.
Uh-huh.
It was kind of comical.
Liquid courage.
It's like they have that like whole Dracula pose.
And I love how Lacey and Jo kept looking back at him, and he's like this. Looking like he's just a wounded animal.
He comes across like he's gonna kill somebody. No wonder everybody thinks he is.
No, Sarita looked like she was going to kill someone.
She did.
She was gonna cut
I
somebody.
literally thought she was finna.
You may hate me for pointing this out, but I pointed it out during the show. This party has lights set up. It's got tables set up, coolers everywhere, full
He
of
totally
beer.
ruined the moment.
Everything's
does.
set up for these guys. It's like it's a lot of planning behind this party, and there's no adults there, and it's just a bunch of high school students getting
Yeah,
really
but-
wasted.
I mean, if you live in a small town, that happens.
Yeah, it's called a set in PAs.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
called a cemetery party. Usually it happens at houses where people aren't going to see it happening.
I mean, but nobody's at a cemetery late at night.
That's kinda
so
true.
It's kind of isolated, and they're usually isolated from like the houses.
They're
So
usually
it's a good
right off
place.
the side of the road where people drive by.
Yeah, but if it's like a tiny town,
Steven gets fixated
Yeah.
on those.
on those details.
On
Moving
those
on,
details.
Steven.
I'm the
So
guy
there's like
everyone
this
loves to
tension
hate.
between Lacey and Archie at the party, and Lacey's not going to drink for Archie. And I don't know, you kind of feel their breakup coming this whole time.
Yeah.
And then her and Jo and Danny go off, and they again confront him about, they're like, listen, we need to know what's going on with you. And he gets really pissed about it.
He kind of guilts them, though.
Well, he says, he's like, I'm trying to protect you. And then it comes out that they tell him what happened with his dad in the apartment.
No, he guilts them with the soccer team thing first. He's like,
Well,
oh, you want to know my secret? Well, here's the secret.
I think that's
I got
just,
kicked off the soccer team
I think
today.
that's just him being drunk and emotional.
You not like Danny or something? 'Cause
No,
he
I
gets
like
so
him. It's
hard
just
on
like
that.
he's so manipulative, and this
He
was like
is.
another moment where he's just like, oh, let's change the subject. I got kicked off the soccer team. Boo-hoo me.
I love how Jo is like, okay, that's bad. Now back to
Moving on.
I love how she did that. She
But then
stopped
he gets
standing
pissed
up.
when he's like, well, why didn't you tell me? She's like, we were trying to protect you, but at least we told.
Yeah.
And then
So-
he just walks off.
But then we
without telling
find
them.
out, we get a little bit of insight about what's going on with his dad. So him and his dad didn't have a good relationship before he died. He stopped visiting him at juvie, which makes me think that maybe his dad did have something to do with Regina, and he like couldn't face Danny.
We find out a lot more than that.
That his dad's death might not be an accident
Yeah.
as well.
Okay, so we find out.
Steven writes down verbatim.
No, I write down
No,
a
I
lot
know,
of stuff.
that's-
So we
Go.
find out that his dad and Tara hated each other.
Yeah.
Like that they really hated each
Yeah.
other. And they're the ones who are brother and sister, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
From
so they
childhood.
really hated
She was
each
going to
other.
try to ruin their family.
From
Yeah.
something from childhood. though.
Tara was
Yeah.
going to destroy his family and destroy Danny's life.
Dun, dun,
I mean, that's a big sentence there. And I'm thinking
It
maybe
is.
she had something on them.
But is that
Oh,
enough?
I think so. I think for sure too.
Is that enough to kill?
It depends on what it was. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't think that's enough, but depends on what it is.
yeah.
I mean, it could be something huge that we're all missing.
I also
We
want to
haven't
say
found out.
I also want to say something. He was how old when he did it? Like 12?
13, 12, yeah.
12 or 13. Kids think differently than adults. So something that's like gigantic to a kid, adults are like, really? So as a kid, like destroying his family could have been something as stupid as like an affair or something.
True.
So
But I don't think he actually killed his aunt. I think he's covering up for somebody else that did.
his dad was alcoholic.
I don't
Yeah.
Not to death.
I'm starting to think he did because when he told Lacey, I feel like he's really forthcoming with Lacey. He tells her the truth. And the way he explained it to Lacey, it looked like he actually did it and he's remorseful, but he had to do it. So I'm starting to think that he really did do it.
Or
But
somebody.
then it doesn't make sense with the autopsy report that we
Yeah.
saw,
Yeah.
and that and the jump rope doesn't really line up.
I don't think that autopsy report, we slowed it down. Like nobody actually saw that autopsy report. I don't think that was meant for people to actually see.
another,
I think it was though, because I think they would have made it.
Yeah, they would have blurred it. They would have had useless information. They wouldn't have showed it like with clear writing.
It was quite detailed.
Here's another thought too, though, is young children are very impressionable, and 12 is still kind of at that age where you can kind of be coerced into certain things. And his aunt could have already been dead, and the dad or somebody could have been like, "How could you kill your aunt? Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Or can you take the fall? You're only going to go to juvie.
No,
you're not going to get.
not even that. Like, they can kind of put it in their mind that something
they
did, like they did it, and then you have all these people telling them they did it, then it becomes
then he
true.
believes it.
Yeah,
I think that's valid.
Because we could have ended up with Danny could have like been inside asleep, and he has his dad put him in the room with the jump rope around her neck on his hands and wakes him up. And he's like, "What are you doing? What did you do? What did you do? Why'd you do it?"
Jo and Lacey were there though. They were there.
Well, they were outside.
Yeah, playing.
We don't know how long Danny was in the house though.
Okay, there's a span of.
Do you think we're gonna get more flashbacks that'll like tell us more about what happened that day?
I hope so.
Are we gonna get more dreams where people end up making out with each other?
I hope so.
I think
hope
those are
so.
coming.
Coming up
only.
next.
So, our last dream was Regina eating peanut butter as a ghost,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
this dream was Joe.
They're
so
getting hotter and hotter.
I wonder if we're gonna get a dream from Danny
butter.
next though, because we've had a dream from Lacey, we've had a dream from.
That would be interesting. I'd like to
His
see
dreams-
what his dreams are.
His dreams are coming
They're
true.
probably really messed up.
Well, they
actually.
Yes, I know.
They
They're
probably
definitely
are
not
going to
what the
give
girls
us a
are with.
little bit of a hint to what happened that day.
Oh,
So
I
that's
bet
what I'm
that's
that's
true.
what I'm looking forward to, is seeing what his dreams, because it's always the anxiety of what the characters are feeling. So Lacey was really feeling anxiety towards like whether Danny did kill Regina or not. So she has a dream of this.
Joe wants to bone Danny.
Joe
So
wants
she
to
has
bone
the
Danny,
dream
so
of
she
it.
has #wet dream.
I love how Stephen is so like it's professional, and then he goes, "What dream?"
Which ABC Family did not put in the show.
They did
that
not
was
do that.
completely made up.
They
from
meant
us.
to.
Okay.
So, anyways, as the cemetery plot continues, Sarita and Regina have this little thing where Sarita tells Regina, "You have to choose between Lacey and Joe or me."
What is her point?
I know.
mean
Like,
girl
who
thing.
cares? Like, let her have her own friends.
But I
Like,
think
does
she's
it
doing.
matter?
If she really is guilty, if we're gonna ride on that, I think that makes sense. Like, don't hang around these people. Obviously, three heads put together is gonna. You guys will figure something out. So if she just cuts them off from
That's
them,
a good.
you know,
thing
I
that
think
you-
she's smart. Obviously.
And the way she's watching everything, it just seems like she might be the.
killer.
Do you
Killer.
think that Lacey might be like, well, screw you, Sarita, like, I'm going to go hang out with them? Or do you think the popularity is going to get to her and
I
she
think
wants...
Lacey's
be
being a
friends with
chicken, and she's like, "Let's do this behind everybody's back," or
Yeah.
"Be quiet about it." And that just makes me really disappointed in her character.
But I think she's gonna grow from that. I mean, she broke up with Archie, and if she, I mean, he's like the popular kid at school, so I think things are gonna change after this. and
Well,
then
she still
her-
wants to keep it. She said nobody can know about this.
secret.
If this is a completely hypothetical situation, of course, but if Sarita is the one that killed Regina, what if it was because Regina had other friends that she was going more towards?
Nobody is gonna kill someone.
I know, that is one
over
crazy
free.
bitch.
That would be
Hey,
crazy.
well, we don't have any other reason why Sarita would go after.
Maybe Sarita was having an affair with the father, and Regina
Okay,
knew.
that maybe, but what I'm saying is, if Sarita is crazy, and of course, even in the cemetery, we were thinking she was going to kill Lacey or something.
She looked
Yeah.
crazy.
Exactly. Maybe she could have killed Regina, and maybe she's kind of like getting a little hostile towards Lacey if she did kill Regina, which I'm not really 100% sold on it. I still think there's a lot. There's a lot bigger conspiracy going around through this town, including the mayor. And
I
maybe
mean,
the
but
principal.
I think they're doing that purposefully, so
Maybe.
you never know. You know what I mean? Because we've thought
And
it
they're
was something
doing
different.
the thing with Danny where he keeps smiling when people walk off. I'm like,
so
what is
weird.
going on? Can they stop doing that? It confuses me.
And
I think that's the point.
if I may remind you, we're not going to find out what happened in this season. Because they're going to leave it open for the second season.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they can't exactly, unless they send Danny back to juvenile hall for another thing and then bring him back
See, I
out.
think we might find out like season finale what happened with Regina, but somebody else will die or something.
Yeah, we're
And
not
it'll
going
be
to find
all-
out what happened with Tara.
Oh no, I don't think
Yeah.
so either.
That's like season
So-
4 stuff.
Yeah.
stop.
So Lacey basically chooses, and she goes back to Danny, and they make out on his aunt's grave, which is really messed up.
So romantic.
And she looks over. She's like, what
She
am
sees
I
it.
doing?
I feel like that is like the worst pickup line. Hey, you want to go out to dinner? And then we can hit up my aunt's grave.
So creepy.
That is really gross.
Ew.
And they're like laying down on
And
it.
they're like
Yes.
rolling over.
Ugh.
She's got ecstasy on her face, and she's like,
Oh, we can go to your aunt's grave if that'll make you feel better.
Oh my god. So, but that
Gross.
kind of inspires her to break up. I think that and the fact that she realizes that she thinks Archie poisoned Danny, inspires her to go to the diner, and she breaks up with Archie. And then she shows
What a
up.
buzzkill, too.
Yeah.
They're all having a good time. They're after this party. Hey,
he's like, come over
He's
here.
like, no,
not-
you come.
Yeah.
She's like, no, you come.
yeah,
I wish we could have seen that. Like the whole breakup.
I know. I wish I would have shown that.
Actually, I could have done without that.
Oh.
Yeah, she
We
broke up
liked
with
it.
Joaquin
We like
Phoenix. Okay, fans, I need your comments on YouTube for this. Settle this, because they don't believe me. Archie looks like almost an exact copy of Joaquin Phoenix. And if you don't know who Joaquin Phoenix is, Google him or Google the Emperor from Gladiator. He looks exactly like him.
Hey, the guy who y'all said looks like Tom Cruise doesn't look like
Doesn't
him.
look like Tom
I admit
Cruise.
to that.
Don't put y'all in my mouth.
He looks like someone from Twilight.
No.
I keep wanting to say Twilight.
I admit Tom
he
Cruise
does.
doesn't look like Tom
he looks
Cruise,
like a
but
vampire.
Archie looks like Joaquin Phoenix. Dead serious.
He looks like he could be related.
He could be his
No.
twin son.
That happens.
Son? Okay.
So anyway,
Twisted.
Lacey goes and makes out with Danny again at the door. She's like, I broke up with Archie. We can do this, but in secret, which is kind of like a...
I don't
What?
know. It was kind of hot though. Danny was like, "Oh."
But I think they're going to have to do it in secret because I think Danny's got to know that Joe has something for him.
You think he acts
Yeah.
so oblivious to it because he tries to put her at arm's length. He's like, "You're important to me as a friend."
You
Well, I
are
think
the
that's why-
most
I think
important
that's
thing
why
in
it
my
says as a
life.
friend, though.
I think he's manipulating
clarify.
her. He's playing her. He's playing her. He's like,
I don't
"You're the-"
think he's intentionally playing her, but I think
I
he
don't know.
is.
Yeah.
Would you say
But he
he's,
is.
he's playing her like a banjo?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, Joe.
I don't
Joe.
know.
Steven's joke.
That was the worst joke ever.
So, anyways, Joe.
I put the joke in.
We're gonna continue to talk about this while Steven tells his jokes. Joe tells her mom that whole situation,
Yeah.
like, "Hey, I like Danny." and
Awkward situation
it's
right there.
horrible. And her mom's like, "Okay, my bad."
Mom had done
And
that.
she
That
thinks
would've
like,
been funny.
and she thinks she's in love with him. Like it's serious.
Yeah, like
that was a lot.
she's what, 17?
16?
I am in love with him.
I think I'm in love. The way she emphasized.
Yeah.
In love.
I don't have a crush. I'm in love.
Yeah.
If I was her mom, I would be like, "Whoa, step back,
Darling,
child."
you ain't in
She's
love
like,
until
"Hold
you've
up."
dated for a long time. You don't use the L word for till at least like 6
That's all
months.
the love she knows at 15. Give her a break.
All right, all
You said
right.
15.
I
I'm
love
like
how we just
16.
keep changing her
I know, who
age.
knows? So let's talk about this whole thing going on with the parents. We found out that Joe's parents have talked about the D word,
Divorce?
divorce.
Can you just say divorce?
They call it the D word.
Okay.
I was trying to
We're
stay
adults, so we can say divorce.
You guys know that the D word's not divorce, right?
What
Oh,
is it?
God.
Are you serious right now? Oh my god. Okay, during the show, I didn't.
Just say it.
The D word is Danny.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
No, he didn't.
I did know that.
Really?
That's
Yeah.
right, it was Danny. I totally
The D
yeah.
word's
I
Danny.
thought
Just-
it
was
just
Danny.
Tess brings up Danny, and Kyle didn't want to bring up the
Oh, I
D
even
word.
looked at
Okay.
Heather and like I called that. They're getting a divorce.
Oh my god. No, they haven't mentioned divorce at all.
Okay, whatever. We were
Well,
wrong. We
they-
were
I
wrong
I can
about
totally
the first
see them
thing.
talking
Yeah.
about having a divorce after all their fights that they've been in.
And Joe said something about
Yes.
marital problems.
I mean, I
Yeah.
could totally see that.
Of course.
That's
I mean,
valid.
not at the ending.
I love how you just
scene.
laugh at us like, it's not divorce, guys. It's Danny.
I'm sorry. I just no. This whole time I
Sorry,
thought you were
that
talking. I
flew
thought you
over our
knew.
heads.
No.
Like, even in the screening room, you're like, oh, the D word. I was like, I thought you guys knew it was Danny.
Yeah. I
No,
know
we
it.
did not.
Yeah, we do. But
Now,
Jason
now I
confused
feel
us.
bad. I'm
Shut up.
sorry.
Totally.
I'm just kidding. So Karen and Kyle have this weird thing at the diner.
Kyle needs to get. Kyle wants Karen to admit. We get introduced to Eddie, which is the new deputy or something.
Yep.
Which the female deputy is
She must have
mysteriously
went away.
gone this episode.
She
and
left.
last
She
episode.
probably fired her. She was kind of dumb.
So now we
She
get
was.
Eddie, who looks like the brother of Sookie from True Blood.
He
looks so
was
much
on
like him.
Greek. He was the hot guy on Greek that show.
Never saw that
Okay.
show. Okay. So we get
Eva.
introduced to him, and we find out that they're combing the lake. They've combed it a few times, but they still haven't found the necklace. Kyle says, keep doing it. So Eddie has the idea, hey, why don't you just try to get Karen to admit that she threw the necklace in there through talking about how, hey, there was this kid, he's really scared because Rico's kind of scared
Yeah.
at random stuff, I guess.
And he's-
Make Rico look bad.
Yeah.
He also said he was charming somewhat.
Yeah.
I'm looking
Right?
at
see that.
Chief Madison charming. I don't know. Yeah.
So he meets her at the diner.
He didn't meet. I think she was there and he knew. And
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
Well,
I
yeah.
think
goes
so
into
too.
there.
He meets up with her at the diner, whatever, and she's eating a salad, picking at it. So she's had a very bad day because she had her job interview at Bikram.
Realty.
A realty.
Was it Bicker or Bikram?
Bicker realty?
Bickerson.
Bicker, yeah, Bicker Realty. And
Not
they,
significant.
they didn't want to give her the job because she, of course, is the mother of Danny Desai.
the socio.
But then you see Kyle, obviously he got her this job. And I feel like after talking to her, because she's told them that, like, oh, I really respect your marriage. And I think maybe that made him think at this point in the episode, like, oh, maybe she didn't cover up for Danny. Maybe she's just a struggling mom.
I think he's very manipulative.
This is the dick cop we're
There's
talking
got to
about.
be something behind him.
But he got her the job.
Yeah, but there's got to be something behind getting the
Oh,
job.
you think he's working with somebody
she's
there?
going to start working there, and there's going to be something maybe in a few episodes or next episode that's going to come out as why he wants her there.
Of course.
Jason, if somebody starts helping you for like, here, let me help you with this. Let me help you with this. Hey, let me help you with this. Hey, did you throw that necklace in the lake? Oh, yeah. You're under arrest.
I feel like he's very manipulative.
Yes.
He doesn't do anything without wanting something back.
The whole reason he went to the diner
I was
to
trying to
connect
see the
with
good
her.
in him.
No.
There is no good in him.
There's nothing.
No, we don't. I'm sorry.
We don't like Kyle. He's a good actor. We like the
guy,
the
not
guy
the
that plays him.
Okay.
We do get the scene with Tess and Kyle.
Yeah,
too.
Tess and Tyle make up and make out
Tess and
too.
Tyle.
It was
No,
really
they didn't
gross.
Tess and
make
Tyle,
out.
Tyle and Tess.
could've
I never
really-
Tess and Tyle.
They did. That was pretty heated. And why did we have to see more of their sex scene?
Why did we have to see that?
Or not sex,
ABC,
makeout.
why did we have to? Why did we
Nobody
have
wants
to
to watch
see that?
I didn't wanna
parents
see
get
that.
it on.
I don't
No.
like watching parents get it on at all.
And I actually don't like when they get along because I like it more when Tess is on Joe's team. Personally.
I think it's funny how like the episode where
Divorce.
Lacey
The
and
D-word.
Danny make out, like that, our whole after show is, oh my god, they made out. In this episode, like Joe and Danny make out, nobody even mentions it past the dream.
Well,
Hey.
the dream was steamy, but it was just a dream.
Because it wasn't
Yeah.
real.
Yeah,
It was
we
like,
like
if
the
it was real,
stuff.
So
then
if-
it would have.
When it's real, you guys are gonna freak.
I
Oh,
got
yeah.
excited when he took off his shirt and he was like,
I know, I got excited
he stood
too.
there like, look at me.
God.
You got excited, Steven. We know you did. Anyways, speaking of excitement, let's get into some news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Oh, well, you can tweet our characters every you can tweet them on every show, right? You're live tweeted.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
always have
And I
somebody
think
new.
Ashton Moy, who plays Rico, was live tweeting last episode. So every episode they're gonna do someone different.
Yeah, normally if you look them up on Facebook not AfterBuzz, ABC Family Twisted.
Twisted.
On Facebook, they'll let you know like Tuesday or Wednesday morning who's going to be tweeting that night, and they'll show a picture of them and their either hashtag or their name.
And we read it, so maybe we'll talk about you.
Yeah.
Even better.
So before predictions, I want to just go through the last scene of the show that we didn't really talk about.
Okay.
Well, we kind of didn't mention like the big
I
climax of the
had to
episode.
cut you off before you brought us any more off topic.
Don't laugh at me, Marissa. Don't laugh
our
at
beautiful
me.
engineer, is
Did
laughing
you see
too.
how mad he got, Steven? Okay, get back.
Okay,
to it.
they found
So,
the necklace.
There's a knock on the door. First of all, Joe calls Danny, and Danny just doesn't answer.
No,
You are the most important thing to me, but I'm not going to answer your
well,
calls.
he looks at his phone. He's like, "Oh,
Nobody
I missed a call."
is going to answer their phone if they're about to get some.
Okay, so we
Is
knock
that
at the
right
door.
before Lacey comes?
Yeah.
Lacey's there, and she says, I broke up with him. No one can know.
No.
And then there's steamy makeout scene, and then we see Eddie show up at the door at Kyle's house and interrupt their fun time, and he says, we found the necklace. Twisted! Alright, cool.
Okay, now can we get some predictions?
How angry was he?
And now, your AfterBuzz TV prediction.
Don't tweet me spoilers, people.
I'm gonna
Dang it!
I'm gonna predict about the necklace because I think they're gonna try to blame Karen for it. But even if she threw the necklace in the water, there's no way they can prove that it was the same necklace that was on Regina. You know what I mean? Multiple jewelry is made all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's just gonna kind of be thrown out.
Oh, so you're saying it's just circumstantial evidence?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Tyler's going to be a lot more of these past episodes. He's a phenomenal. I'm just going to put it out there. He's a phenomenal actor, and I just really think he's hot.
He's really hot.
And I think he's going to be more of the plotting.
I think Joe's gonna lose it to him.
Lose
The V card.
We don't talk about stuff like that.
Yes, they have sex on the show.
They didn't show any sex.
Not yet.
Okay.
ABC Family gets a little steamy.
Okay, we are not all in agreement of that.
We watch Pretty Little Liars. We know
love
what's up.
Pretty Little
They had
Liars.
60. They had what is it? Secret Life of the American Teenager.
Yeah.
Lose it on that show.
Okay.
Lots of people lost it on that show.
I don't think it's gonna go that far, but I
And
feel
she's
like
gonna get pregnant.
Oh, no.
And learn a lesson.
No.
that's a different show.
A whole nother
Switch that
show.
birth or something.
Okay, so going by what I just got tweeted, thank you PDR is Twisted. It says Jo and Tyler may get. I'm gonna change the wording. May get together. Check the spoilers. You don't tweet me spoilers. I think that we're gonna see Jo and Tyler kind of get together, but Tyler's gonna start being like that creepy guy who does things that don't really go out. And maybe he's getting close to her just to get closer to Danny to find out.
Where
things
did
about it.
where did Phoebe say Tyler came from?
That's her
why
brother.
wasn't
Her
he-
brother.
But why wasn't he around in the beginning? Where did he come from?
She said something earlier. Like remember earlier in the season, I mentioned, we find out that she has a brother.
in New York.
Yeah.
Oh.
He was on a trip.
Oh.
That's why they could hang out at her house or something like that. That's why they had the party or something.
Okay.
I don't know. I thought it was stupid information back then, but now we know
It's
who her brother is.
foreshadowing.
Yeah, there
Good
you go.
foreshadowing.
Okay, mine's not really a prediction, but I would like to see Jo and Tyler get together. I think they would be a really cute couple. And maybe you'll just get her mind off of Danny, like she needs someone else. And I think she's going to find out about Lacey and Danny eventually. Probably in the next episode. I mean, how long can they keep this
Well, unless they
secret from her?
continue to do it in secret.
Yeah, but she's still going to she's going to know.
Oh, poor Rico. He's not gonna have anybody. Sarita. We'll put him with Sarita.
Serena.
Oh my gosh,
we
can
go.
you imagine
I think
Rico
Rico's
and
gonna be
Sarita-
gay.
Okay. Do you have a prediction?
Anyways, guys. I don't know.
Yes. Let's just say that things are gonna get. They said the line this episode like, "Oh, things are getting better." So things are gonna get a lot worse next
Yep.
episode. I think somebody else on the soccer team's gonna be poisoned,
Oh.
and I think Archie's gonna lash out at Danny after Lacey broke up with him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
There you go.
Very
I won't
interesting.
say any more. And Daisy just tweeted me saying the D word is divorce, but in that scene it was Danny.
was Danny,
Yeah, in
yeah,
that
it
scene it
was
was Danny.
So
We're
what
gonna
happened?
rewatch it. I think it might
Yes.
have been Divorce too, Daisy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyways, guys,
Love her.
we'll continue this conversation on Twitter and on YouTube with all your comments. Where can they find you guys?
I am on Instagram and on Twitter at Heather Joy Smith.
I'm on Instagram and on Twitter at just Lina Green and on Facebook.
And I am on Twitter at Stephen Lemieux, StephenLemieux, and just giving a shout out to at Daisy Fans and at PDR is Twisted for tweeting us during our after
Yeah.
show. And be sure to follow us. Check out our other shows. I'm on Grace Lane Dexter and Get Out Live with Bear Grylls.
And I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Jason Ikeler and on the Kardashians After Show on Sundays. And we will be back in here next week.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.